Top 20 Director Interview Questions and Answers. Preparing for a director-level interview? These top 20 questions and strategic answers will help you demonstrate executive leadership, strategic vision, and business acumen to stand out in any high-stakes interview. 1. Can you describe your leadership style and how it has evolved over time? My leadership style is a blend of transformational and strategic leadership. Early in my career, I focused heavily on task management. Over time, I've grown to prioritize team empowerment, vision alignment, and long-term impact. I encourage open communication, mentor emerging leaders, and ensure every team member understands how their work contributes to the bigger picture. I've also become more adaptable, adjusting my approach based on team dynamics and organizational needs. This evolution has helped me build high-performing teams that stay resilient, creative, and aligned with strategic goals, even in times of change or uncertainty. 2. How do you align departmental goals with overall business strategy? I start by deeply understanding the company's strategic objectives. Then, I work collaboratively with department heads to break these down into actionable goals and KPIs specific to each team. I ensure alignment through regular planning sessions, performance reviews, and strategic check-ins. Communication is key. I cascade goals from the top down and feedback from the bottom up. This two-way alignment guarantees all teams understand their impact on the broader vision. I also use dashboards and performance metrics to track progress and adjust goals as market conditions or company priorities evolve. 3. What metrics do you use to measure performance and success? I tailor metrics to fit business goals, but broadly, I focus on KPIs related to growth, efficiency, and engagement. Financial metrics, ROI, revenue growth, operational metrics, project delivery, resource utilization, and employee metrics, retention, satisfaction, are core to my evaluation framework. For strategic initiatives, I track milestone completion and overall impact on business transformation. I use balanced scorecards to ensure that short-term wins don't compromise long-term sustainability. Regular reviews and data-driven dashboards help me and my teams remain focused, agile, and accountable to performance targets. 4. How do you handle conflict within your leadership team? Conflict is inevitable but manageable through transparent communication. I address issues early, listen to all sides, and facilitate open discussions to understand root causes. I promote a culture of respect and psychological safety where differing opinions are valued. If needed, I involve a neutral third party or HR for mediation. I also use structured feedback tools like 360 reviews to help leaders understand their impact. My goal is not to eliminate conflict but to resolve it constructively, turning disagreements into opportunities for better decisions and stronger collaboration. 5. Share an example of a time you made a high-impact strategic decision. At a previous company, I led the strategic decision to pivot our product roadmap toward a subscription-based model. After analyzing customer trends and revenue forecasts, I presented a detailed business case to the board. The transition required operational restructuring, retraining sales staff, and revamping our marketing strategy. Within a year, customer retention improved by 30%, and revenue became more predictable and scalable. This decision not only modernized our business model but also positioned us for long-term success in a rapidly evolving market. 6. What's your approach to managing change in a large organization? I manage change through structured planning, transparent communication, and active stakeholder engagement. I start with a clear change management framework, outlining objectives, timelines, and roles. I involve cross-functional leaders early to ensure alignment and buy-in. Communicating the why behind the change helps reduce resistance. I support teams with training, feedback loops, and resource planning. I also track adoption metrics and adjust based on real-time feedback. By being empathetic yet decisive, I ensure that organizational change is smooth, strategically aligned, and sustainable for long-term impact. 7. How do you ensure cross-departmental collaboration? I foster collaboration by setting shared goals, encouraging transparency, and breaking down silos through integrated planning. I create cross-functional teams for major initiatives and use collaborative platforms for visibility and communication. Regular leadership syncs and interdepartmental workshops help maintain alignment and resolve bottlenecks early. I also promote a culture of mutual respect and shared accountability. Recognition of team successes across departments further builds trust and cohesion. My role is to act as a connector, ensuring information flows smoothly and all departments contribute toward a unified business outcome. 8. What is your method for prioritizing multiple high-level projects? I prioritize using a strategic matrix that assesses impact, urgency, resource availability, and alignment with company goals. I start with stakeholder consultation and data analysis to rank projects by ROI and risk. I ensure resource allocation supports the most business-critical initiatives while balancing short and long-term needs. Agile methodologies allow flexibility, so I review priorities regularly and pivot when necessary. Communication with executive teams ensures buy-in and transparency. This approach helps me maintain momentum on key initiatives while adapting to shifting business demands. 9. Describe a situation where you had to deliver tough feedback. In one instance, a senior manager was underperforming and negatively impacting team morale. I scheduled a private, structured conversation focused on specific examples and business impacts. I approached the discussion with empathy, offering support and clear expectations for improvement. Together, we created a development plan with measurable goals and regular check-ins. The manager responded positively, improving performance within months. I believe tough feedback, when delivered with clarity and respect, is an opportunity for growth, both for the individual and the organization. 10. How do you foster a culture of accountability and innovation? I build accountability by setting clear expectations, linking individual goals to company strategy, and tracking performance transparently. I promote innovation by empowering teams to take calculated risks, rewarding creative problem-solving, and providing time and tools for experimentation. Open-door policies, innovation labs, and cross-functional brainstorms are part of my leadership toolkit. I model accountability myself, owning decisions, learning from mistakes, and celebrating team wins. This balance of discipline and creativity nurtures a high-performance culture where employees feel trusted and driven to excel. 11. What are your top methods for coaching senior managers? I coach senior managers through a combination of one-on-one mentoring, structured development plans, and performance feedback. I focus on aligning their goals with business strategy while enhancing leadership capabilities like delegation, emotional intelligence, and strategic thinking. I encourage self-assessment and use tools like 360-degree feedback to provide balanced insights. I also involve them in high-level decision-making to stretch their thinking and build confidence. My approach is supportive yet challenging, designed to unlock their full potential, strengthen succession planning, and ensure they are empowered to lead their own teams effectively. 12. How do you handle underperformance at the executive level? Executive underperformance requires a tactful but direct approach. I start by analyzing the root cause, whether it's skill-related, strategic misalignment, or external constraints. I then hold a private, honest conversation to discuss observed gaps and expectations. Together, we establish an improvement plan with measurable goals, support resources, and regular progress reviews. If performance doesn't improve, I involve HR and senior leadership for potential reassignment or exit. My focus is always on accountability, fairness, and business impact, ensuring leadership roles are held by those who can drive performance and inspire teams. 13. What's your experience with budgeting and resource allocation? I have led multi-million-dollar budgets across departments, ensuring alignment with strategic priorities and ROI. I start with zero-based or performance-based budgeting, involving stakeholders to understand needs and constraints. I regularly monitor actuals versus forecasts and adjust allocations based on performance metrics and emerging opportunities. I'm adept at reallocating resources in response to shifting priorities or market conditions without sacrificing operational efficiency. I work closely with finance teams and use budgeting tools for transparency and tracking. My budgeting philosophy balances strategic investment with fiscal responsibility. 14. Describe a time you had to manage a crisis. What was the outcome? During the COVID-19 outbreak, I led crisis management for a supply chain company facing severe disruptions. I quickly formed a task force, developed a communication plan, and secured alternate suppliers. I ensured employee safety with remote work policies and health protocols. We stabilized operations within weeks and avoided layoffs. Transparent communication with clients preserved trust, and the experience led to long-term changes in our risk management strategy. The crisis tested our resilience but also showcased the importance of agile leadership, rapid decision-making, and cross-functional collaboration under pressure. 15. How do you stay informed about trends affecting your industry? I stay updated by subscribing to industry publications, attending conferences, participating in webinars, and maintaining a strong professional network. I also engage with analysts, customer feedback, and competitor analysis to gain insights. Internally, I encourage knowledge-sharing sessions among teams and support professional development. I regularly brief the leadership team on emerging trends and their potential impact. By staying proactive, I can anticipate changes, influence strategic planning, and position the organization to lead, not just adapt, in an evolving marketplace. 16. What's your experience working with the board of directors? I have regularly presented strategic plans, financial performance, and risk assessments to the board. My role involves translating complex data into clear, actionable insights aligned with corporate goals. I build trust through transparency, timely communication, and responsiveness to board feedback. I also collaborate with board committees on governance, compliance, and long-term planning. My approach is to view the board as strategic partners, balancing oversight with shared vision. By aligning with board priorities and demonstrating results, I've helped secure approvals for key initiatives and maintain strong organizational direction. 17. How do you evaluate risk when making strategic decisions? I use a structured risk management framework, starting with identifying potential risks, operational, financial, reputational, or regulatory. I assess likelihood and impact using qualitative and quantitative analysis, often with input from legal, finance, and operations teams. I weigh risks against opportunities and ensure mitigation strategies are in place. Scenarios and sensitivity analyses help visualize outcomes. I also consider stakeholder perception and long-term implications. Risk doesn't paralyze my decision-making, it informs it. By making calculated, well-evaluated choices, I minimize surprises and drive sustainable, confident growth. 18. What steps do you take to ensure diversity and inclusion? I embed diversity and inclusion into hiring, leadership development, and culture. This starts with unbiased recruitment practices, diverse interview panels, and targeted outreach. I support training on unconscious bias and inclusive leadership. I establish ERGs, employee resource groups, encourage diverse representation in leadership pipelines, and ensure our policies reflect equity. I also track diversity metrics and solicit employee feedback regularly. Beyond compliance, I believe inclusion drives innovation, engagement, and better business outcomes. By listening, acting, and holding leadership accountable, I create a workplace where every voice matters. 19. How do you build and maintain stakeholder relationships? I build trust with stakeholders through consistent communication, transparency, and shared goals. I start by understanding their expectations, needs, and concerns. I maintain regular updates via reports, meetings, and check-ins to ensure alignment. When issues arise, I address them promptly and openly. I also celebrate shared successes and express appreciation for stakeholder contributions. Whether it's investors, customers, employees, or partners, I tailor my approach based on the relationship. Long-term trust is built on listening, delivering value, and showing integrity in every interaction. 20. What makes you the right fit for our organization at the director level? I bring a strategic mindset, proven leadership, and a track record of delivering measurable results. My ability to align vision with execution, build empowered teams, and navigate complex challenges makes me well-suited for this role. I understand how to drive growth while fostering a culture of innovation and accountability. I'm adaptable to change, collaborative by nature, and deeply committed to organizational success. More importantly, I align with your mission and values, and I'm confident that my experience and leadership style can contribute significantly to your long-term objectives. Mastering these director interview questions can give you the edge needed to lead with confidence. Subscribe for more executive career tips and get ready to take the next big step.